Hello, my name is Martin Hickey. We're going to talk very briefly about failure mode effects analysis, also known as Pfmea, or in this case, process Pfmea. First thing you're going to want to do, make sure you capture everything in your document. Identify. This is based on your organization, how they're going to work it. Like, what is your what Pfmea is this one? Which one is this going to? What process it's being a part of? Who's responsible for it? Who's preparing it? So this is your administrative information that you got to put into it. Then you get into the actual Pfmea itself. Now, the key here is that it is a brainstorming exercise. You have to have the appropriate people for the process that's being worked on. Process inputs, process outputs. That's what you're going with. So you first, and then you're going to need your process map to tell you what your steps are in your process are in the first place. Then you sit there and you determine what are the potential failure modes within your process. Then, of course, the effects of those failure modes and the severity. You give the severity a number between 1 and 9. Then you establish the potential cause of the failure, like power. Like if you have a failure mode of a power out, and then your cause of failure is because a car smashed into a pole, you need to establish a number as to how often that happens. Not very likely would be a 1. Oh, it happens every other week. A 9. See what I'm saying? So the lower the number, the better. The higher the number, not so much. You'll find out in a very short second why. What are you doing to control that? You write that up here. And then how easy it is for that process to detect or prevent it from happening. If it's really robust, it's going to prevent it from happening. Like you have a backup generation system and a redundant power source on your process itself to keep it running. If something happens, like a power pole gets taken out, then it's a 1. Or if you don't have any of that and there's no way to put that on there, then it's a 9. Or somewhere in between, depending on your actual deal. Then you multiply your severity times the occurrence times the detection, and you get your RPN. Now you line up all of your process steps, all the potential failure modes that can happen, all the potential failures, and then everything else lined up in there. This can be a very long exercise. You get all your RPNs figured out, and then you go ahead and sort them high to low. Then you start working on the ones that need the most, which they're the highest numbers. And you'll find out that handles 20% of your, there'll be 20% and it'll handle 80% of your problems. Come up with actions, who's responsible, target date, and then they take the action, and then you reassess your severity, occurrence, and detection, get a new RPN, and if it's below a certain threshold, then you go from there. So here's some exercises in here. You'll have a thing talking about, what is your severity, what rates what for occurrence, what rates what for detection. And then in the back here, you can establish your control plan that you would go back and reassess. So with that, we have failure mode effects analysis. Thank you very much. Remember, this is one item in corporate risk management. It's one of the tools that are used.